All right, so everybody else seems to be pretty excited about this company. Why do you have a hold rating? What are you seeing?
So when you think about the current challenges for Apple and for its stock, it's geopolitical risk as it pertains to China, and they're still laggard when it comes to artificial intelligence and capitalizing on artificial intelligence, which remains, I think, the most important topic today when you think of the performance of the stock market at large.
All right, you cut me off really quick, Tom, but your price target's about $50 below the street average. So you're seeing considerably less upside. Is it simply tariffs, or is there something else there?
Yeah, so to put it simply, Frank, when thinking about my price target, you're looking at both earnings and multiple. So from an earnings standpoint, the question is, the company already guided to September quarterly revenue growth of mid to high single digit, suggesting that it expected the iPhone 17 lineup to do well. So to what extent has the iPhone 17 lineup exceeded expectations so that earnings estimates could go higher? And then on a multiple front, do you want to pay north of 30 times for a company that still hasn't solved for AI? And when you think about our price target, it's a 28-time multiple. That's why we're sitting at $201, well below where shares are trading today.
All right, so if your thesis is they haven't quite figured out AI, then doesn't that mean, I mean, that's everybody kind of shares that sentiment. Doesn't that mean that an AI surprise is not priced into this stock? And if they make an acquisition or some type of development with Apple Intelligence, that would give the stock a big boost?
Potentially, yes. But on the acquisition front, historically, with few exceptions, beats where they paid north of $1 billion, Apple really doesn't pay or spend big on acquisitions. They're more interested in acquiring talent. So I have a hard time believing that they're really going to go big when it comes to acquiring a company to materially advance its AI efforts.
All right. We just did a story right now about the potential for a foldable iPad. Is a foldable device really important for this company going forward? You mentioned AI so far has been a bit of a disappointment. Is a foldable device, does that at least have the potential to create another leg of growth?
I absolutely think so. So when you think about the Air, the iPhone Air, I think that's a precursor to a foldable iPhone, to the extent that a thinner device, I think, ultimately leads to a foldable iPhone. And if the form factor, meaning foldable smartphones, is more important than AI-enabled ones, or at least important, then that could be a good catalyst for iPhone sales and for shares.
All right, but at the same time then, Tom, you're kind of saying that a lot of things aren't priced into this stock and there's a lot of potential for an upside surprise. So why have it at a hold if these stories haven't quite played out as a lot of people hope they would, and there is that potential?
So let's look at the China situation. So you still have the two governments, U.S. government, Chinese government, sparring either over tariffs or providing global access to rare earth minerals, which, by the way, are important for consumer electronic products, including Apple. And you have the fact that Chinese competition is really doing a good job against Apple in smartphone sales within the Chinese country of China, where Apple generates about 10% of revenue. So I think that right now, simply put, shares are ahead of themselves. There's too much good news priced into shares. I look forward to seeing when they report the September quarter to see if there is material upside, which would have me reconsider my price target.